Real change or transformation happens in an instant. It happens the moment you decide. I wanted to take you on a walk with me today, but the elements are elementing. It's super hot. Immediately, all of the bugs started smacking me in the face. They were trying to crawl up my nose. And I was like, I need to get out of here. I ran like Forrest because I cannot do bugs. The desert bugs out here are insane, but that's not going to stop me from giving you a call. So here we are. Let's talk about life changes for a little bit. We tend to think of change as something that's hard or something that takes a long time. But a lot of the time, real change or transformation happens in an instant. It happens the moment you decide. The moment that you stop desiring and you decide that that is who you are now, when you decide that this is your life now, when you decide that you are, no matter what, no questions asked, point blank period, you are going to experience whatever changes it is that you want in your life. A lot of the time, we keep ourselves hung up on desire, right? We want a better life, whatever that might look like for each of us. Of course, it's going to look different for everyone. We want to reach a certain level of success in our career. Maybe we want to switch careers and we feel like it's too late because we're too old. Or maybe we want, we've experienced failed relationships in the past and we want to finally experience unconditional love with someone who supports us, someone who loves us, someone who adds value to our life. Maybe we've been stuck in the same patterns, the same routines, the same bad habits, and we're just ready to experience something new, something different. The changes happen the moment you decide and stop desiring. Because there's nothing wrong with desiring, but when your desiring changes and nothing happens, like when you're constantly saying, I want this, I want to experience that, I'm tired of feeling lazy, I'm tired of feeling unmotivated, I'm tired of the same routine, I'm tired of failed relationships, I'm tired of my current job, I want something different, I'm tired of having like a scarcity mindset around money or around anything in life. When you are sick and tired of yourself, basically, that is when you go from desiring to deciding. Because when you decide, it's not even about, creating some sort of awesome strategic plan, some sort of 10-step process. It's more so about that first action that you decide to take. That first action that's going to set you up in or set things in motion to guide you naturally to that place that you want to be. And see, that's what used to hold me back a lot in my life for years of my life. I used to be a strategic planner. And in fact, I used to be really OCD about planning. And I also used to plan for the worst all the time instead of planning for the best. And what I would experience in my life was a lot of things that I didn't want. I would feel like things never went my way. I would feel like life was always throwing me these curveballs that I couldn't handle. I felt like bad things were just always happening to me. I felt like it was always a struggle to get from point A to point B. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with planning, right? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with strategizing. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. But it all boils down to who is doing the planning. Who is doing the planning? Who is doing or taking the actions? Who is building the strategy? Who is executing all of these things? Because when your identity, your concept of self, does not match whatever outcome it is that you want, if you're at point A and you want to go to point B, if your identity only matches point A, it's going to feel a lot harder to get to point B. It's going to feel like it takes a longer time to get to point B because you are focused still on all of the things that you don't want. You are focused on what's in the middle. You're focused on the length or time that it's going to take in order to get you to where you want to be. I know that that is something that we've all kind of been brought up to understand and to know, right? But a lot of the time, that is exactly the thing that holds us back. And when I learned to, because I'm a very logical person, I'm a very, well, I should say used to be. It's my brain, right? My brain is very logical, like most of our brains are. And my brain is also very realistic. But I learned that in order to go from point A to point B as quickly and effortlessly as possible, I'm not saying you're not going to experience some little speed bumps in the road, but it feels more quick and effortless when you are letting go of control. And what is control? Logic. When you're letting go of all the logic, because when your brain logics itself into or out of situations, it's always looking to protect you because that is what your brain does. That's how our brains are wired. So if your brain is always in protection mode, or survival mode, it's going to throw all of those but what if questions at you. And that's what starts you to second guess every move that you take. You could have the best strategic plan in place, but it will end up feeling difficult, or it'll feel like it falls apart. It'll feel like it's not working because your mind is saying, but what if this? But what if that? Your mind is what tells you that it's going to be hard because that's what most of us have been conditioned to believe, that things in life are hard. Things in life are not hard. The hardest thing in life is to let go of all of the things that hold you back. The hardest thing in life is to forget who you used to be, the version of you that doesn't believe that real change or transformation is possible. Letting go of the version of you who keeps you playing small. Letting go of the version of you who feels like they're not worthy or deserving of whatever it is that they want. Whenever you are going after something in life, you're going after a goal, a dream, you want to make changes in your life, you want to call in love, money, success, joy, peace, happiness, bliss, whatever it is, the only thing that is holding you back is never outside of you. It is always up here. So when you're able to become friends with your brain, right? And I said a while ago that when you let go of control, but honestly, your brain likes to be told what to do. So instead of letting your brain tell you what to do, start telling your brain, your mind, what to do. Start telling your mind, hey, I know you're scared right now. I know you're thinking of every possible but what if scenario. But I want you to show me what things would look like when everything is already done, when everything is already worked out. Because when you start working in tandem with your mind and the way that your mind works, your mind is always going to keep showing you proof using its filter system, deletion, distortion, generalization. It's always going to keep you in a loop of what is familiar. But most of the time, most of us experience loops of unwanted things because we have not learned to work in tandem with our mind. So when you stop feeling the need to control everything outside of you, but instead start learning how to control your mind and work with it to help get you to where you want to be, that is when you start to experience real lasting change in your life. Because think of it like this, and you can go back to several videos where I talk about this, in almost every video, where I mention that your brain stores everything that you experience and the meaning that you place on those experiences or conditions. That data gets processed, it gets stored, and your brain's main job is to show you proof of what is familiar. So if someone broke up with you in high school and it was the worst heartbreak of your life or the first heartbreak of your life, and you gave that heartbreak the meaning of, well, this person didn't accept me, this person didn't want me, they threw me away, they broke up with me, so now I must not be good enough. If that's the meaning you placed on that breakup, and that's what you continue to experience in your life, the reason why you keep experiencing it is from that one time that you gave heartbreak or a breakup the meaning of, I'm not good enough. The same goes for any aspect in life. Let's say a career. If you feel like you've been applying to jobs, you want something new, you want a higher position, you want a completely different career path. You've been applying and no one even calls you up for an interview. Or maybe you've been interviewing, but you don't get selected. And it keeps happening over and over, time and time again. Think back to a time where you probably got rejected. Even if it didn't have to do with a job, think back to a time in your life where you probably got rejected. Let's say, for example's sake, that you got rejected at some point in your life And it made you feel like you have to constantly keep proving yourself now. When you start proving yourself, you start acting unconsciously inauthentic. And it's almost like, I don't want this to sound woo woo, but energy plays a lot in our daily lives. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So when you are using energy in the sense of, let's say that you are wanting a career change or to apply to a different job, whatever it is, that feeling of rejection that you experienced in the past is what is leading you, the meaning that you gave it, like, I'm not good enough, I need to prove myself. That is your energy. That is your identity. That's who you're leading with. That is who you're behaving as. Your identity always leads your behavior. So when you walk into interview rooms, how do you walk in? Do you walk in with your head low? Do you walk in doubting yourself, saying, I hope I get this job? Or do you walk in saying, I know this job is mine? Because even your self-talk reflects what you know to be true. Your self-talk reflects what your brain has already stored as information from past experiences, conditioning, and everything that you experience in your life, the meaning that you give things. So if your self-talk is still running through that script of the limitations in your mind, you need to flip that self-talk into something that actually aligns or matches with whatever it is that you want. And at first, this might feel difficult, right? Because for so long, you're used to feeling unworthy, or you're used to feeling undeserving, or you're used to feeling like things are difficult, or that things take time, or that money is hard to come by, or that you will never reach a certain level of success, or that you're not worthy of love because of XYZ reasons, right? The list goes on and on. Obviously, I'm just giving random examples, but you can extrapolate this to whatever, you have going on in your life. But my point is that when you, I kind of already forgot what I'm talking about. I keep going off on different side quests here, but my main point is that when you let go of who you used to be, when you let go of all of the things, the self-talk, the data that is already processed in your mind, when you let go of that, that's when you're able to transform or see changes in your life that you've been wanting to experience for probably a while. At least that was me. I just remembered what I was talking about a minute ago, where I said that it might feel difficult at first when you're trying to rewrite your script, right? When you're trying to rewrite your narrative, because it's something that you've been used to for years. The thing that has helped me the most is literally just embodying the version of me that has what I want, that is experiencing what I want. And what I mean by that is every day when I wake up, I start out with my general, today's going to be the best day ever. I'm going to experience miracles today. I'm going to experience the best opportunities. The best case scenario is always happening for me. Another thing that I do is that I include micro shifts throughout my day. Things that I wouldn't normally do, I do things differently. And it could be the smallest little thing, like switching what shoe I put on first, or switching which hand I brush my teeth with, or whatever, right? But that is what helps to send signals to your brain, showing it proof that change is okay. Because the only reason your brain starts to hold you back is not just because it wants to keep you in a loop of what's familiar, but even your nervous system. That's why you start feeling anxious or scared or doubtful, or you get this internal feeling or sensation of, I don't want to do this. This is scary, right? Even though you want to do something, you want to make changes in your life, your whole body is telling you don't do it, right? But again, that has to do with old programming in a sense. So in order to get your nervous system and your brain that has all of those, that script or that narrative stored, you need to get it used to changes. So I do little micro changes throughout the day. And again, it seems so silly, but it actually works because my brain starts to notice that change is okay. So whenever I experience something new in my life, or I want to experience something new in my life, as I'm taking that initial step or that initial action to start the process or to start seeing changes, my brain doesn't freak out right away, or my body doesn't freak out the way it used to, because I'm already used to changes happening. And the last thing that I do is, a lot of people will say that they like to practice gratitude, right? And well, I like to also practice gratitude. I kind of tweak that as well. Instead of just thinking about all the things that I'm grateful for, at the end of the day, or even sometimes in the middle of the day, or even in the morning when I wake up, I think of all of the good things that happened in my day. Or if it was the morning, I think of all the good things that happened yesterday. And this isn't about just seeing the big things that happen in your life. This is about looking at the little things. Because again, this is also designed to show your brain that good things always happen to you. So when that data gets sent to your brain is like, yeah, let's continue showing them all these good things. That's what they keep experiencing. That's what they focus on. It's like that saying, where your attention goes, energy flows. So whatever you're putting your attention on, all the good things that happened throughout your day, your brain starts to process that as new data, and now it's going to start showing you all the good things. Little things that I look at every day are things like, you know what, I got to talk with my best friend on the phone for half an hour. Someone said hi to me when I was on my walk this morning. I got a free matcha. I got a discount at Michael's. I got front row parking. I woke up with a smile on my face. All the little things that you wouldn't typically even acknowledge throughout your day, start paying attention to those things. Whatever you are focused on, whatever info you keep feeding your brain, it's going to continue showing you more. So I know this video was kind of all over the place, but I hope you were able to at least take something out of it. Let me know in the comments something you are trying to change in your life and one thing that you feel is blocking you. I love you so much. I will see you next time.